Welcome to the Paradigm Shift episode 97. You can absolutely confirm that being consistent is a superpower. I want to start out by wishing my beautiful and amazing fiance, the love of my life, a very happy 30th birthday today. Waiting for Big Dave to come on, and we're going to get absolutely crazy. Ken's in the house. Alex, everybody's out today. 8 a.m. special start time, baby. Yeah. We're getting nuts right now. Happy Saturday, everybody. If it's not too much trouble, what I'd like y'all to do is to drop your current state in the chat from 1 to 10. Alex, where's Big Dave? And let's get this party started. Oh, Big Dave in the house. How many cute croissants did this cat scarf down? Rennie, I see you on, brother. We got a very special guest, everybody, today. I'm really excited about it. We're going to bring you on in less than 5, Rennie. Happy birthday, Alaska. The big 30. Wow.
My man. I'm going to the airport to come to Philly. I'm going to have a little meeting with the 49ers president, I hope there, Al Guido, a guy I've been working with for years, who's all grown up like you. And then I'm going to the Eagle game. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's great.
So it's going to be the best game, and I'm super excited.
Eagles
correct. I'm
a
board member of the Life brand company, and we have on the field the best seats in the house on the field, and I can't wait to watch this game and hear the cracks of the bats.
The best seat in the house is anyone who's
Oh, man. I appreciate that. Anyway, what's going on? Let's teach some people something.
Yeah, all is well. I want to wish my fiance a happy 30th birthday today, the big 3-0, which I'm excited about. But most importantly, we have a special guest coming on, but let's dive right in. Dave, this week you were talking a lot about accountability. That's huge for many reasons. Why were you talking about it?
I think a lot of people, there's 3 stages of accountability. And the first one is where most people lie, which is fine, is you're responsible for everything in your life, right? Now, all 3 stages have the same objective, which is to what did I learn? See, once you take control of everything, it's counterintuitive accountability that when we say, what did I do? What am I responsible in level 1? And therefore, what did I learn? We have complete control of our life, because taking responsibility puts us into the realm of mindset, heart set, and handset, and the control that people have of those 3 things. The second stage is attraction. What did I do not only to be responsible for this and what am I supposed to learn, but what did I do to attract this to myself and what am I supposed to learn? Now we're taking it to the next level. And then finally, the biggest nuance that I've learned here in the last couple of years is the third stage of accountability. What am I doing to participate in the perception and what am I supposed to learn? So these are the 3 stages of accountability, all deriving lessons from our control, mindset, heart set, and handset of every situation. And remember, on that last stage, one of the greatest lines I heard this week is, what other people think of me, what other people think that I'm doing is none of my business.
Yeah, so good. Something I'm working on. This is tremendous, straight up. And also, when you have that mentality, it allows you to never, ever possess that victim mentality. Because if something happens that was unforeseen, you immediately take the approach, what did I do to attract?
Absolutely.
Right?
That responsibility, attraction, and participation in a perception, it's amazing. But we don't realize subconsciously and unconsciously what we're attracting to ourselves. So the more insight and understanding we have of that attraction, the better statistically we are at making future decisions from the lessons that we've learned.
Yeah, unbelievable. Selfishly, I'm going to ask you one more quickie before I bring on Rennie. I also saw you talking about doing a life audit. That was pretty cool.
You broke up. Did you join the life party?
The life audit.
Yeah. So look, understanding and taking inventory, and therefore being able to see what meaning we're giving our past. So when I take an audit of those personal values, experiential values, giving values, and receiving values, I can derive the difference of, is this an investment in myself, or is this an expense of myself? Knowing that behaviors are an energy just like money, and all energy aggregates, accelerates, and compounds on itself. Because we don't ever see results, we never can see the future result. But what we can do is have faith on our progress, that if we take inventory of personal, experiential, giving, and receiving, and we audit that, we can consistently make the right investments, and we can mitigate the expenses in our lives.
So good, Dave. So good. And also, thank you for being the most consistent cat in the world. Look at you. You're on your way to the airport. We never missed an episode. 97 episodes in a row. We're going to bring on our guest right now, but I got to ask you, how much is exquisite eggplant?
When it comes to being exquisite, I cannot get enough. I lost count at 10. It was amazing. I love you, man. Thank you for having me
so much. Of course.
What's up? What's up?
There he is.
Morning.
What's up,
How y'all
friend?
doing?
Good morning.
Amazing.
Doing great. Yeah. Thank you so much for being flexible with the time. We hit it off a couple of weeks back, and I knew I wanted to have you on the show. For our audience who might not be familiar, do a deep dive, play catch up. What I think is most valuable is we just have an awesome conversation.
I'm ready, man. Let's go.
You ready
I'm
for
at
us?
my daughter's volleyball game, but we're gonna make it happen.
Hell yeah, I love it. I was checking out your content too, and one thing I saw that you told me that was really cool is when you're about to make a pretty big decision, you like to write down in a journal the pros and cons. How significant has that been for you when stepping into big decisions and choices and so forth?
A lot of times when we're trying to make major decisions, there's that voice in our head that tells us we're not good enough. There's that, maybe you should do something else. Fear sets in, imposter syndrome, all those types of things. And you write down the pros and cons, lets you know the cost of what you may miss by not taking that opportunity. And we don't think about it in terms of like good things that can happen, right? Who are the people who I may not get a chance to impact, right? What are the things that I may not learn? What are the opportunities that may not come my way? Right? We think about it in a negative way a lot of times, like when we take risks in terms of what we're going to do. The people who may not show up for us, people judging us, and I David, that has nothing to do with us. The things that people say about us, right? So that's something when I write all those positive things that can possibly happen. It just starts to plant the seed of just faith, right? And faith is a powerful building momentum. You just know without a doubt, man, you wrote those positive outcomes down. You really believe in it, trust in it. Man. I don't know when it's gonna happen. I don't know how it's gonna happen. But I know if I take the chance that something good is going to happen, maybe one person that is impacted by my decision, but I know that something good is going to happen. So once I write those things down and get clear on it, it just gives me that momentum to move forward and take that leap of faith, knowing that something good is going to happen.
That's so good. And Dave, before you chime in, sometimes it's like someone's thinking about like, can I afford it? Sometimes you can't afford not to.
Absolutely. And
right,
when we talk about listing out pros and cons, I want to remind everything, the simple things to do are unfortunately simple not to do. And these things seem so simple, but the simple things like saying thank you or doing a pros and cons list, they're simple to do. Unfortunately, they're simple not to do. And human nature doesn't have us do the simple things a lot of times that make a major difference. And one of the other nuances of making a list, you guys, is that it's an accelerant. You see, remember, life's about lessons. The lessons keep on coming until you learn them. And pain is an indicator that you have a better place to be by learning that lesson. So by making a pros and cons list, you're accelerating the lessons because you're less apt to have as much pain in the decision making. Now, where faith is intertwined with what you're saying is that no matter what you decide, you're being protected and promoted. It's just how many times your mom has to slap your hands and say, no, that's a fire. Don't put your hand in the fire. That job is not for you. That house is not for you. That girl is not for you. And if you want to accelerate your expansion, growth, you need to make these lists in order to avoid more pain. Now, in the end, the only difference is going to be is how fast are you going to get to a better place or a better situation. And it's the simple thing like doing a pros and cons list that allows you to accelerate to where you want to be or think you want to be.
So good. Yeah. Only negative I got going on is we don't have 10 hours to chat. This is too good. I just love this show, Dave. Just this show in general, just creating space for unbelievable guests like Rennie to come on and share some nuggets. Look, there's so many places we can take this conversation, but Rennie, I wanted to ask you this, brother, because one thing that I really admire about you, besides the many, is your unwavering self-belief. And I know you talk about cultivating a self-belief before other people believe in you too. And Dave talks about this, he words it a little bit differently, but how important is this self-belief for you, and how can somebody begin to cultivate
Yeah,
that?
I mean,
if they don't
it's
have it right
everything. None of us will be on this call right now if there wasn't some type of level of self-belief and, self-accountability and just that understanding that, that we are enough, right? We are enough. And I think it really starts with cultivation. Like, it starts with that self-work, that inner conversation that you have with yourself, how you believe yourself, like that understanding, knowing your values, what your vision is, having the right people around you. That's a major part. I mean, even our parents, you can look at the conversations our parents have with us, how that creates our inner thought conversation, impacted my own father. I can think about how people said things to him. He didn't have his father in his life, and how that's impacted him as a man today, right? So there's so many ways to cultivate self-belief, but I think it really, really starts with that inner work and that conversation, knowing who you are, being clear on where you're going. All really play a major role, man. So that's what I would say it starts. If anybody's listening right now, you're trying to, really cultivate confidence, start there, man. Start journaling, start asking yourself if there's self-defeating thoughts that you have that are just recurring, ask yourself, what's the root of this, right? Is it something that I heard as a child? Is it something where I failed and I developed that narrative, right? That I'm not able to do a certain thing. Like, what are those negative things that you're telling yourself, and what is the root of that? Getting to the root of those things that hold you back, those self-defeating thoughts, is a major part of developing that self-belief and building that momentum.
So good. And also, a lot of those negative beliefs that we cultivated aren't necessarily facts. We cultivated it, and we can
Yeah, exactly.
that, right?
You think about, what we pay attention to plus what we give intention to equals the coincidences in our lives. The fourth level of intention is belief. And how do we get to the fourth level of intention? By doing things in the trajectory of what we think we want in full faith, that we're being protected and promoted by a source that's omniscient, all powerful, and all knowing, bigger than us, that loves us more than our mom. Then also not just doing, saying what it is as well in that trajectory, then thinking it. And then if you do say and think things in a trajectory of where you think you want to be, knowing in full faith that you're protected by and promoted by an omniscient, all-powerful source that loves you more than your mom, this is where we can see the belief. Now, how do we quantify belief? This is something that I try to teach people, is understanding time, because what we can do, see, most people can't quantify belief. They go to feeling, which is different, right? I feel confident, I feel inspired, I feel intuitive, and I feel intellectually prepared. That is different. That's the fifth level of feeling. So how do we know if we believe something? It's very simple. How much time during the day are we outside of belief? Do we have a need to be right or offended, angry, upset, anxious, frustrated, guilty, resentful, scared, worried? If you can take and say, man, I've been worried for the last 2 hours, and then tell yourself, you know what, tomorrow I'm only going to be worried for an hour and 59 minutes. Well, now you're only 119 days away from not being worried. And you can actually regulate and quantify your belief system by doing, saying, and thinking it, but also being aware of how much time am I spending in the wrong trajectory, worried about what other people think, worried about what I don't have, worry about what's not here yet. right? We regret the past and we worry about the future. That's a waste of time, emotion, value, and money. Just simply believe in yourself by doing, saying, and thinking, enjoying the consistent, persistent pursuit of your potential. And all of that belief will be there, which just statistically puts more intention. And remember, attention plus intention equals coincidence.
Mm. And Craig, I want to add another
So
thing
good.
too, man,
Oh
that
my
I've really found to be extremely powerful. And I really talk about this a lot in my messaging, but tracking your wins, writing those things down. I don't care how big or small it is. And it goes back to what you said, Dave, about having that gratitude and believing in the higher power that God is for you, or whoever you believe it is for you. But I believe in writing. There's not a week that passes where I don't review every single meeting, every single moment, big or small, that happened during that week, and I just write all those things down. And what that does is it also programs your mind for success and belief, and just once again builds that positive momentum, knowing that, man, this may have happened. Maybe I had a bad conversation. Maybe I got rejected. Maybe somebody said something I didn't like or commented on my post in a way that I didn't like. But man, I got all these wins stacked up, man. So I'm on the right track. I'm on that right trajectory, right? And I think if we don't do these things, then our mind automatically goes to the negative, and it points out, those bad things that happen, that negative conversation, that argument that you had, that bill that's coming. Your mind is automatically going to focus on those things. So I believe we have to be intentional
Yeah.
with our,
And
yeah,
I got to add this because I heard this the other day too, man. This is killer. In that respect, right? I talk to myself. I don't listen to myself. Because
yeah,
when you listen to yourself, it's like all this other stuff. I talk to it. I say, wait, hold on a second. Cancel that. How about these 6 wins right here? And I always add the word thank you after my wins too.
mm,
So, because I know that those wins come from that which protects me and promotes me at all times. So, I think it's really important, right? The simple things to do, like writing down your wins, saying thank you for your wins, are unfortunately simple not to do. And these little simple things are what aggregate and accelerate your life in the trajectory. And it just keeps growing and growing. And they wonder, how'd you get so far so fast? Every day. That's how, in complete faith by what I do, say, think, believe, and feel.
yes,
so good. This is straight up gold. And I started doing that more recently, and I'm working on it. And I have to acknowledge them, because I used to be the type of cat that, like, after you hit a goal, like, the
yep,
goalposts keep moving back.
yep.
But you got to enjoy the journey. Yeah.
You know,
Dave's gonna
I
with that.
100%
What
agree
were
with
you gonna
that,
say,
man.
Rennie?
Me being an athlete, man, it's like every week it's something else. Even if you have a great game, you're sitting with that coach, and you guys talked about accountability early on, and it's great, right? But it can become toxic. I call it toxic ambition, where it's like nothing enough. It's always for me playing linebackers, like I pay 50 tackles. How can I get to 20? I get to 20. How can I get to 25? I get to college. How can I get to the pros? I get to the pros. How can I go 10 years? And you see this a lot, so much in society, man, where guys get to the highest level and it's like they're chasing, man, and it's like they don't even know. I call it chasing ghosts. You don't know what you're chasing. You don't know why you're chasing it, and you forget that it's about the journey. It's about the growth. It's about self improvement. It's about holistically who you are, right? So not just how many deals can I close, but who am I? Who am I as a father? Who am I as a brother? What's my relationship like with God? Like, what are those goalposts looking like? So holistically, how are you improving, man? Yeah, I think that's so important, this topic.
Yeah, and that's why you have to have
That's
daily
deep.
practices, right?
Yeah,
Daily prayer, daily practices. And, for me, knowing what I want today in a trajectory of where I think I want. And, look at COVID. Warren Moon and I, Hall of Fame quarterback, we had a 12-year sports marketing company. It's based around all the different biggest events: Super Bowl, Pro Bowl, Masters, Kentucky Derby, Breeders' Cup, ESPYs, Emmys, Oscars, Grammys. And guess what? In one day, when they closed down the NBA, we realized we had no business. Now,
mm,
if like you, like an athlete that plays linebacker or running back, something, God forbid, can happen to you, as we saw on the field
right.
a few Mondays ago. Well, I promise you, if you're not in the perspective of the journey and the daily practices,
Mm,
if you're not saying to yourself, what do I want
right.
today in the trajectory of where I think I want to be in the future, and then a life-changing betterment comes to you, a protection and a promotion comes to you that you don't understand. For me, it was losing over $100 million, right? That was not fun, but I will tell you, here I am 17 years later, and that saved my life. That saved my marriage. That saved me. I wouldn't be where I am. And the reason it is I immediately, when I started to take stock in who I was, I said to myself, what is it I want today?
Right.
Considering where I am today, what happened to me, an injury, what happened to me, COVID, what happened to me, bankruptcy, what do I want today in the trajectory of where I think I want? I did not become a victim. I didn't hold on to my dream. You know, I didn't say, no, I'm supposed to be a professional football player. I'm
Yeah.
supposed to be a professional football player. My life is over.
Mm.
No, I got to know what I want today, personally, experientially, giving, receiving, who can help me, who I can help, and how best to get it done, and reprioritize my life and be happy doing it because I'm progressing in a good direction, not into an acceleration in a direction of void, shortages, obstacles, and mistakes. And that's a very key component that you know in your life. You may know it subconsciously. You haven't maybe even utilized a pragmatic tool, but people should have daily practice in a trajectory of what they think they want and change your mind tomorrow. I love hypocrites. If you change your mind, that means you're learning. So I love people that tell me, I changed my mind. I want to do this today. Good for you. Let's do it.
Yeah, this was so good. I'm so grateful for you guys spending the time on a Saturday. They've been travel. And Rennie at the game. And so but this conversation actually elevated my life. And that's all we want to do for everybody listening. Rennie, what's the best way for
Yeah,
our
man.
community
First
to
of all,
support you, brother?
I tell you thank you, bro, just for everything that you represent, everything that you're doing to pour into others, man. It's extremely inspiring. I want to, commend you, David, as well. I follow both of you guys, man, and I really am inspired by the work that you all do, man. It's so needed, man. So many people are hurting in this world. So many people need a message. So I really, really just want to say I appreciate what you all are doing. I look forward to seeing both of you guys, man, in person, standing on stages with you all, inspiring others, man. It's going to happen. I'm speaking it into existence. So wish you all continued success, man, businesses. Yeah, anybody listening, you can me. My IG is at Rennie Curran. My website's at Rennie Curran, all that good stuff. I'm always open to pointing into somebody, mentoring, what I can do to support you guys. I'm here, man. Much love.
Yeah,
Dave,
man.
what a
Well,
beautiful
just
soul,
so you
right?
know, I'm happy to elevate you, my brother. So anything I can do to help and get you more stages and a bigger platform so that you can pour into the community with all that you've learned. And Craig Siegel's proof of that to me every day. It's like I'm an uncle of thousands, man. I'm an uncle, that proud uncle. You know, it's so nice. I don't have to be there like a parent every day, but I'm like an uncle. I get to come in and out and just say, I'm so proud of him, and he's empowering people. Be enjoying part of our group, man. So just reach out, ask for help. I'd be happy to get you more stages and a bigger platform because more people need more of you, like they need more of Siegel, the Eagle. And I'm gonna go root on the other Eagles tomorrow. I'm on my way right now to an airplane. So thank you, guys.
Yes, sir. Safe.
Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate you guys very
All
much.
right.
Have a
Thanks,
great rest of
brothers.
the weekend.
Bless
And Rennie
you.
will chat. Bye, guys. Wow. Paradigm Shift, episode 97 in the books. My goodness. And we're just getting warmed up. Thank you all for joining us at a different start time today. As we get closer to 100, two of the next three guests include Eric Thomas, EP, and Uncle Ed Milet. Show is growing. The community is growing. We appreciate all of you. If you guys want to know how you can support us, share the show. Join the texting community at the bottom. And I'm going to see many of you in New York next week for the CLS Live event. We can't wait. We have some real big surprises, big guest speakers. Thank you, Rennie. If you guys weren't familiar, go check him out. Follow him. His content's awesome. His heart is huge. And my iconic co-pilot, Big Dave, scarfing down exquisite eggplant daily. Love that guy so much. One of my best friends. Thank you all so much, guys. What a testament to the show and how it's growing. And again, I want to wish a very happy 30th birthday to my beautiful fiance, Alessia. 30 years young. Wow. Do you guys think she's too old to me now? I'm just teasing you guys. Have an awesome weekend. Sharpen the axe. Journal pros and cons. And when you're going to invest in yourself and you're thinking about something, and you'd be like, oh, I can't afford it, think about this. You can't afford not to because the world needs your gifts. It's not your opinion. It's your responsibility to fulfill your assignment and contribute and make that impact and be in service. And also unapologetically make a lot of money. We love you guys so much. We'll see you next week.